I'm Mike Shackle, and I'm the current president of the Heritage Quarter Business Alliance, formerly known as the Lemont and Homer Glen Chambers of Commerce. If we'd all could please rise for the Lemont Fire and Police Honor Guard.
Ready? Lights! Prepare to post colors. Ready? Post.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States
of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order! Out! Left! Right! Forward! March!
On behalf of the executive staff, board of directors, and our wonderful members, welcome to the 2019 Mayor's State of the Village Address. Before we bring the mayor up, I'd like to again thank our hosts, Crystal Grand Banquets. A big thank you to Stan, Christine, and their team for allowing us the opportunity of holding this important event here. We also would like to thank our main event sponsors, Citgo, Lemont Township and Highway Department, Country Financial, Odelson Stirk, Lemont Bank and Trust, and Ozinga. We'd also like to thank our friends of the Chamber, Gelsasimo's Pizzeria, Diggs on Canal, Nick's Tavern, Lemont Scrap Processing, Edward Jones, and Dow Insurance Service. Thank you again to all the following groups for taking time out of their busy schedules, all our elected officials, especially those from our surrounding communities, our local government and municipal partners, our local business owners, residents of Lemont, and their surrounding communities. You'll also notice inside your program we've highlighted some of the major events that are happening in Lemont, starting with early voting this upcoming Monday, March 18th at the Lemont Township Center on Warner Avenue. On March 21st, we're also having a candidate night at the Lemont Village Hall at 7 p.m., sponsored by the Republican organization here in Lemont. Now I'd like to bring up Glenn Pasowitz, Executive Director of the Heritage Quarter Business Alliance. But before that, you guys can sit down.
I was going to say, everybody, take a load off. Thank you, Mike. As Mike said, I am Glenn Pasowitz. I'm the current Executive Director of the Heritage Quarter Business Alliance. So it's an honor to stand before all of you today. As Mike said, thank you to everyone that participated and helped out today. I get the honor of introducing Mayor Gofsky. And so for those of you that did know, Mayor John Gofsky was elected as our mayor in April of 2017. He is currently the co-chair of the Northern Will County Water Agency, is a member of the Southwest Conference of Mayors, along with the Will County Governmental League. John is a retired CFO business executive with 26 years of professional business experience that has ranged from small startups to multi-billion-dollar corporations. He is a registered certified public accountant with a background in accounting and finance. His business acumen, operational experience, and financial expertise has played a vital role in companies like ATI Physical Therapy's success. John, his wife Louise, and daughter Ryan have resided in Lemont for the past 12 years. His career path has led him to retirement, and today his primary focus is giving back to our great town of Lemont. He may be retired from ATI, but believe me, folks, I'm in the Village Hall every day, and we see him there a lot, probably more than certainly a lot of other people in town. So, John, I can't thank you enough for being present, for everything that you do for us. He's always there at a beck and call. We've had a number of ribbon-cutting ceremonies these last year, 2 years, so he's always been present and available. So, John, thank you for doing that. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together and welcome Mayor John Agofsky.
Anybody lose a phone? Now that I got your attention, please silence yours. Thank you.
Good job, Rick. We're going to do a test here. Hopefully this works. Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right. We're going to turn this off. All right. Well, thank you. And I appreciate, Glenn, all the kind words. Definitely want to thank everyone for coming out. Welcome to this evening's event. We got a lot of stuff we want to share with you. But before we do that, we have some special guests that we want to share or introduce. I know it's going to be tough to do, but please try and hold your applause, okay, to the very end, okay? First off, I believe he's here, our Cook County Commissioner, Sean Morrison. Sean. Sean's in back. From Bolingbrook, Mayor Roger Clare. Our former mayor and now head of PACE, Rick Kwasniewski. From the city of Lockport, Alderman Darren Deskin. Ben Benson from Lockport, city administrator. Jim Bone, Bolingbrook village attorney. Trustee Ken Griffin from the village of Romeoville. John Grueling, President and CEO of the Will County Center of Economic Development. Hugh O'Hara, Executive Director of the Will County Government League. Up next, I'd like to present to you our village board, our village clerk, Charlene Smolin, our trustees, Debbie Blatzer, Dave Maher, Ken McClafferty, Rick Snigowski, Ron Stapleton, and last but not least, I'm sorry, we're getting some technical difficulties here. Last but not least, Ryan Kwasniewski is working today, so he's unable to join us. With that being said, again, can we give everyone a round of applause, please? I also want to introduce our village staff leaders. Our village administrator, George Schaefer. Our police chief, Mark Mayton. Our public works director, Ralph Pakula. Our community development director, Jason Berry. Our finance director, Chris Smith. And the person that really runs the village, Linda Molitor. And special thanks to Donna Pacina for all her work in today's presentation. So on behalf of the entire village board, we want to thank all of our staff for the great job they do in making Lemont the best it could be. We also want to thank all of our sponsors today. We would not be having today, we would not have today without your gracious support. Again, we thank all of you. We thank Glenn and Mike, and of course we thank the new Heritage Corridor Business Alliance, formerly our chamber here. Mike obviously mentioned the merge, and again, I think one is better than two, with both Homer Glenn and Lemont pooling together. We look forward to working together toward a goal of strengthening both of our communities. Next up, before we begin the presentation, we want to share with you the results of a project we've been working on for the last several months with collaboration of the Chamber and their financial support, as well as Linda and her group. We have a video. It's called This is Lemont. It was a lot to try and pack into 2 minutes. So we've heard a lot of great feedback, but we want to share that with you before we start. So my name is Johnny Gofsky. I've been a resident for over the last 12 years. Lemont is a very close-knit town. It's a quaint community. We're recognized as having one of the safest towns in the state.
I think it's a great place to both live and raise a family. It's big enough where it has everything you need, but it's small enough where you know all your neighbors.
There's parks everywhere, there's great schools.
It's one of the few places in all of Chicagoland that still has a direct connection to both history and to nature within a mile of your front doorstep. You're 40 minutes away from the city by car or by train. You're 30 minutes or less away from both the major airports, and for us that was a really important thing.
Lemont is known for its great educational system. We were just honored with the Blue Ribbon Award, our high school system, as being the top 2 public schools in the state of Illinois.
It's great to be part of a community that supports its high school. The pride the community has in the high school is absolutely amazing, and I do believe it's one of the reasons our students are so successful.
Lemont is very business friendly. We welcome new businesses coming into Lemont. Lemont has the opportunity and the people and the demographics to support new businesses.
I think downtown Lemont and Lemont in general is an untapped gold mine. There is nothing but opportunity. You feel like everyone's taking care of each other and looking out for each other.
The chamber is fantastic. The village is fantastic.
I feel like they're a huge advocate for businesses.
When I think about community, I think about faith, friendship, family, and all of those things exist right here in Lemont.
It's a delightful community. People here are grounded in faith, and they're grounded in their traditions, and they're grounded in their family. And we have a very special vibe going on here.
I didn't grow up in Lemont, but I absolutely believe that this is my home.
Lemont is a great town. We've thoroughly enjoyed living here.
My family and I, we love Lemont.
Again, we also want to thank the Realtor Group. That was one of our focus groups we set up over a year ago. And one of the first feedback they gave us was, hey, we need something that we can market the town. And this was the first try. We're going to continue off that, make it a little bit more residential friendly. But again, we're proud of it. And whatever we could do to sell Lemont, that's what we're trying to do. So with that being said, as a board today, we want to share with you the progress we have made over the last year. And we're excited for all the new businesses that have opened up, as well as all the new businesses in the pipeline. Lemont is one of the best towns to live in. We all know that. We are proud of our town. As the video mentioned, we have the 3 key critical attributes. We have a quaint hometown that is in an ideal location. Location, right? We have an award-winning school system, and we are recognized as one of the safest towns in Illinois. Besides our residents, what also makes our town so inviting are the hardworking employees that give their best in providing the very best possible services. We want to thank Ralph Pakula and the Public Works Department, which has over 350 years of experience. They maintain our water, sewer systems, roadways, streetlights, vehicle fleet, village-owned buildings, and our heritage quarry recreational area. Our snow removal is some of the best in the area due to their dedication and planning. And they are doing this on a very efficient staff of only 20 people. In total, they are responsible for over 162 miles worth of streets and 90-plus miles of water mains, sewer, and stormwater lines. We also want to thank our police department, our safety and emergency management teams. Our police department consists of 27 full-time employees, 23 sworn officers, led by our police chief, Mark Mayton. Our police department is staffed 24/7, 365 days a year. Staffing is split into 2 12-hour shifts each day. Due to economic reductions over the past year, we have had to reduce their shift from 5 patrol officers down to 4. So again, they are operating as efficient as they can. Lemont was recently named one of Illinois' top 50 safest cities in Illinois. Again, we want to thank our police department, as well as our safety departments, and obviously this cannot be achieved without significant help from all of our residents as well. We would like to recognize the other important projects the department has successfully implemented over the last few years, including the ILEAP accreditation, the Safe Passage Initiative for opioid and heroin abuse, and the Lock It or Lose It campaign to increase awareness in locking resident vehicles. The police department organizes and participates in many community events each year. In addition, the department was recently recognized as one of the top fundraising departments in the state of Illinois. Over the past year, we have taken great strides to increase our economic growth. We have reallocated positions and put dedicated resources into economic development for both businesses and residential growth. Our goal is to provide an environment to properly assist, encourage, and recruit new businesses and investments that our residents want, that they need, and also the ones that they will financially support. So before we could even talk about the present or planning for the future, all of us here in town, we need to better understand our past. Again, before you can plan for the future, you have to understand your past. Lemont was established in 1836 and incorporated in 1873. In 1836, the construction of the I&M Canal began and was opened in 1848, and Lemont as an industrial town was born. The official population in 1840 was 2,100, which was a sizable population considering Chicago was only 4,500 at that time. Lemont has been associated with the stone and the quarries since the earliest days, and it has become a major economic force, especially for those first 80 years. The first train railroad was completed January 1st, 1858. Obviously, this only helped accelerate Lemont as a key industrial hub. The Chicago Sanitary Ship Canal construction began on September 3rd, 1892, and it was known as Shovel Day. This grueling construction project brought many more immigrants into our town, and with it, many more taverns. During the canal construction, the population ballooned to over 10,000 residents at that time. All the bars, taverns, and extracurricular activities brought in $500,000 per year in licenses and fees, which in turn helped build our current city hall. I don't know how you connect those two. And at one point, there's actually, we shared with you 80. At one point, there's actually over 100 taverns on the north area of town. That area of town was known as Smoky Row. History has it, and this is, you can read it. I bought a book, it says it. It says, history has it, the saloons were selling a brand of firewater called CANAL Tanglefoot. Supposedly, one shot of CANAL Tanglefoot would send a man on the warpath or render him unconscious immediately. So there's some marketing there for one of you bar owners to latch onto. So But, you know, a primary emphasis of our economic growth is in the downtown, okay? Unlike many other suburbs, we have a historic downtown with the majority of our buildings being built in the 1800s. This right here is a map of our town in 1894. I think Jason happened to roll upon this a couple of months ago. And believe it or not, all the streets and buildings are pretty much unchanged today. At this time, there are only 52 saloons, and 6 alone were on the same block as Village Hall. So again, got to really wonder what work they were getting done at Village Hall at that time. Some say that today, but anyway, speaking of taverns and drinks, last year Chicago Magazine described Lemont as a mecca for millennials. This month, the magazine recognized Pollyanna Brewing Company Lemont Tap Room as one of the 5 best in the suburbs. Describing it as brews with a view. Paul Sikora, where are you at, Paul? Paul, stand up. Because you notice Paul has a drink in his hand because he brought a full keg of Lemani beer. So drink up, right, Paul? All of us, not just Paul. So. Coming this summer, and this is exciting, Pollyanna, in collaboration with our current Smoky Row establishments, will brew 15 barrels of beer to be sold at various businesses listed on the label up here. A donation of $2 will be donated for every can sold with the intention of raising $6,000 for our local Hope and Friendships Foundation. So again, drink up, but drink responsibly. So. Today, our downtown is a framework for collaboration. As one of the Chicago area's most historical downtowns, Lemont Downtown District is unique and reflects the village's story. Downtown Lemont will be a vibrant mixed-use district full of unique shops, restaurants, offices, and homes. It will be a desired destination for visitors from outside the community. Downtown Lemont is the cornerstone of our community's historic charm. And improvements to make it a thriving mixed-use district are vital to our success. So our goal is to develop the downtown as a destination for both our residents, but also visitors as well. Typically, the first step in rehabbing and eventually filling a vacant building is it first must be sold. Over the last 18 months, we have seen the downtown real estate sales increase 8-fold, which in turn has reduced our vacancy rates by 50%. Recently, we've had significant investments and upgrades to existing businesses and buildings in our downtown area. So we thank and we appreciate all the owners that have made this investment. We continue to try to improve the aesthetics of our downtown, and 2 recent major initiatives included beautifying the area with light pole rope lighting. It's tough to say. And high-end Christmas light decorations. I want to specifically thank the Downtown Merchant Alliance Group for organizing these initiatives. This group, by the way, the DMA, is the cumulative voice for our downtown businesses. I also want to thank Derek Norwood. Derek, are you here? Please stand up, Derek. Derek is the owner of Artistic Holiday Designs. Derek, with conjunction of the DMA, is the one who made this all possible. I know everyone here, if you were able to go downtown, it was beautiful. So Derek, again, we appreciate what you did for the town, and we also appreciate the decorations you put on your building. So looked like Clark Griswold was working there. Okay, next up, Wooden Paddle. Jonathan and Brianna Cohen I believe they're here today as well. How you doing? They opened the doors this past December. I call it a cool, swanky place, but it's really awesome. They feature firewood pizzas along with a lively vibe, signature cocktails, unexpected appetizers, salads, and extremely untraditional pizzas with names such as Pretty Fly for a white pie, greens, eggs, and ham. I assume that's the salad, right? No? Pizza, sorry. Okay. I actually had that too. And getting figgy with it. So there's no place like it though. Like their food, their specialty cocktails are all freshly made. So if you have not been there, please check it out. Diggs on Canal opened and celebrated their grand opening just this past Friday. It is owned by Ed and Peggy Greikus and managed by their daughter, Jen McCary. Diggs on Canal designed and named their family-owned restaurant based on the hardworking immigrants who built this town and community. Their menu consists of comfort foods made from scratch, from pulled pork and gourmet mac and cheese to meatloaf and braised beef short ribs. They also have an incredible chopped salad. As many of you know, Ed, Peggy, and Jen also own Gelsosimo's Pizza, and they are huge supporters in our town of Lemont. So thank you. Manus McClafferty opened Hughie's Irish Pub a few months ago. Named after his father, Hughie, if you didn't know it any better, you would think you were in a pub in Ireland. So Manus, thank you. Hughie's is the type of place you want to hang out for a while in a warm and friendly atmosphere. You'll find lots of authentic Irish items on the menu, like Guinness stew, fish and chips, shepherd's pie, and of course, a corned beef and cabbage. And of course, you can wash it all down with the Guinness poured the right way afterwards. Hughie's is now open for breakfast on the weekends and features live, authentic music every Monday night. So check that out after you listen to, or at least go to the board meeting. So today, I'd like to introduce the new owners of Cornerstone Tavern. Terry and Nancy Art are Cornerstone Tavern was previously the Stonehouse Pub. Terry and Nancy have over 25 years combined in the hospitality industry, and their focus is on quality products delivered with better than exceptional service. Cornerstone Tavern will be serving up items like goat cheese grits, fried green tomato sandwiches, honey fried chicken, all-day breakfast, along with their signature milkshakes. They plan to be open this summer? Yes. Okay, so stay tuned. But again, welcome to town. Coming soon, there is another business opening at the Front Street Lofts. Zach Sadowski and Mario Kostecki, natives of Macedonia, are the owners of the new Lemont Valley Market, which will specialize in packaged goods, wines, and spirits, all of which will be imported from Europe. I believe Mario, are you here today? Mario, welcome. Mario and his partner are both experienced businessmen, and we are very excited to have them at Front Street Lofts, bringing a new variety of products to the Lemont community. Our Safety Village. It's another building that has been underutilized in the downtown. It has recently received some new energy and spirit with the SEASPAR Lemont Eagles program. This enhanced adult growth through lifestyle education and service program is a year-round life skills enrichment program for adults ages 18 to 50 to assist them in the transition to life in the community. We want to thank the Lemont Park District and their volunteers for taking over this building from the village and making significant upgrades both inside and out, and putting it to great use by making it SEASPAR Lemont Eagles their home. So again, welcome SEASPAR Eagles program to the Lemont community. And I believe is Dawn and Morgan Mason here? Are they with us? Thank you. Okay, coming soon. The old St. James School on Illinois Street was built in 1883 and is currently being renovated with 9 apartment units by Rob Abenanti and Sel Alfano. Rob and Sel, where are you at? Thanks, guys. You guys are doing a great job. The Pop Wins building at 326 Main Street was previously the Lemont Inn Restaurant, the QUARRY Inn, Amy's Pub, but soon it's going to be the Mountain Market. This building dates back to 1867. Owners Al and Wadgen Swice will be adding a 3rd level for their own residents. The Bugnet building at 400 Main Street has recently seen lots of activity after being purchased by Tim White in town here last year. The upper levels remain residential units, and the main floor, which served as the Budnick Pharmacy since 1927, is up for commercial lease. To increase residential growth, new businesses, and foot traffic, we've created a new TIF district in the downtown area in 2018. Newly created property tax increment will be used within the downtown TIF to further incentivize residential and economic growth. A TOD development is a multifamily housing complex within close proximity to transit such as our Metro line. We have received strong interest from the development community for this property, which includes Peterson's hardware store, along with village-owned property. For about the last 18 months, I think we've been to a meeting every other day on this, either that or 83 in Maine. But we have worked with 8 developers and have had 2 letters of intent over the past year. We've learned something new every time. It's a difficult site to build on, considering there's a 7-foot storm sewer pipe going down the middle of the property. So to make it work, most likely we're going to have to require 2 multi-story buildings with density of at least 70 to 80 units plus. But again, this is critical to our downtown. The businesses need it. You know, we love Elsie's hardware store to death, but you know, it is an eyesore. We have to get that developed. We have several developers that we've worked with. We got a couple here today. So again, we look forward to working with you and getting something into our downtown that fits. Obviously, it's going to fit the decor of the downtown, and we want to make sure that it's done right. Also, downtown this past year, the train station had a $350,000 renovation, all funded by Metro. We continue to evaluate the cost of the downtown and putting in a train quiet zone along the Canadian National Railroad. By its natural location, Lemont is a trail town. 3 major regional trails converge in Lemont near the site of our 2 canals. We need to make these trails count and work for the village as a recreation destination. To help connect and bring trail users to the downtown Lemont, the village previously submitted an IDOT grant application for the construction of a bicycle and pedestrian bridge. We are currently working on a Cook County grant application with the assistance of Sean Morrison to assist in engineering for this project. So again, Sean, we appreciate you sitting with us, and we look forward to working with you. It will span the old Lemont Road Stephen Bridge right-of-way, which is adjacent to the proposed trailhead on the Centennial Trail. This is a major initiative to help connect the multiple biking trails in the surrounding 3 counties to one another, and to bring, and also for connection into the downtown as well. Just north of downtown, along the Sanitary Ship Canal, we are looking to partner with the Metropolitan Water District and potentially other Lemont taxing bodies to utilize 27 acres of open green space. This open space could initially include passive walking and bicycle paths, as well as future outdoor ball fields. By far, one of the most exciting new developments we are looking to break ground later this year is an outdoor recreation park called The Forge. This is an outdoor recreation destination for all of Chicagoland and will be one of its kind here in the Midwest. The Forge initial projections are looking at bringing 750 customers into the park on a daily basis. Joining us today are the principal owners, Jeremy Bacon, Bart Lathan, along with their project leader, Jeanette Virgilio. Can you guys please stand? Bart and Jeremy, we thank you so much. You know, it's been a whirlwind, right, over the last 18 months, to say the least. But again, we appreciate working with you. We're going to make this work. There's been a lot of changes to it, but potentially we're breaking ground this late this summer, early this fall. So very excited about that. There will be several outdoor activities, including large rope courses, the largest rope course, I should say, in the Midwest, multiple cross-quarry zip lines, mountain biking trails, bike skill tracks, and kids pump tracks. Don't know what that is, but I heard kids love it. Trail running, hiking, water sports, and races. The location of the park is northwest corner of Main Street and Walker Road, and will be located on both public and private land owned by the township, as well as the village. Again, this is a partnership between private and public. We appreciate the township, their cooperation, and again, we're going to make this work. It will feature a rope challenge course that consists of 3 towers, cross-quarry zip lines spanning over 1,000 feet in length, multiple trail systems, and a dedicated kids zone. Again, we've talked earlier, we have a natural asset here, and it's our quarries and our topography. And again, this is an awesome project because we're going to be able to utilize those natural assets for the entire community as well as visitors as well. The 3 towers will be multiple stories in height and will aesthetically fit into the natural look of our quarry area. These tower and rope courses will challenge climbers of all skill levels and will include bungee jumping as well. The $35 million privately funded park build-out will be completed in 2 phases, with the initial phase of $10 million, phase 1, to include all the outdoor equipment and infrastructure, along with a casual food court. The $25 million phase 2 will include indoor buildings for rock climbing, restaurants, and entertainment, and a new entrance off Main Street with an extension of Walker Road over the railroad heading north. Again, we are very excited in anticipation of the park opening, and like I said, hopefully as early as next summer, if not fall. So again, we look forward to this, and we look forward to working with you guys. Our spring and fall 2018 Restoration Day, the Historical Quarry Restoration Day with CITCO, we were able to get over 150 high school volunteers out. This is a great example of the community coming together for a cause. This event, now beginning its 5th year, could not be possible without CITCO Petroleum Corporation and the CITCO Lemont Refinery. We're so grateful to have your continued support in 2019, so be sure to sign up for the April 27th Restoration Day that is coming up. In addition to the downtown and quarry areas, we have other development throughout the town. Fork and Spoon opened last spring. Owner Bob Kudalaginis has been in the restaurant business for years. And being a resident of Lemont, he wanted to open his business in Lemont. This chic Greek-style breakfast, lunch diner serves everything imaginable, and I can personally attest that everything tastes delicious. In fact, I've been there for breakfast and lunch on at least 20 or 30 occasions, so it's good stuff. Please check it out. Also, the bowling alley which originally opened in 1950 as Lemont Bowling Lanes. It sat vacant for several years. We're happy, ecstatic that it's come alive again. Quarry Pub Grill's owner, Bob Taff. Bob, are you with us? Bob, stand up. Bob brought it back to life. Is quite an undertaking with such a large venue. It is a local concert destination, has party packages, pool tables and billiard leagues, bean bags, 8 bowling lanes opening soon, and entertainment almost every night, and can hold over 1,000 people. Outside of the wrestling matches, we heard the entertainment is getting great reviews, Bob. So take that for what it's worth, Bob. Okay. They have a great menu of pub favorites and serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So again, thanks, Bob. Another very exciting and much anticipated new business on the horizon is Pete's Fresh Market. I believe is Stephanie Dramonis. Did she make it? Stephanie, please stand up. Pete's Fresh is a hands-on family-owned business, and Stephanie is a second-generation leader of the family business. They are currently, if you've stopped by, or if all you have to do is drive by, they're demoing the inside, which was obviously the previous site of our beloved Chip Haynes grocery store. They are investing $5 million in capital to open up their new store, possibly by the end of the year. All right. I, for one, am personally grateful that you started the demoing, because I would get a question literally every other day. Hey, I heard Pete's Fresh is out. They're gone. They're not coming. No. No, we are so excited, and the community is excited, Stephanie. So again, we wish you nothing but the best. Another restaurant we are extremely excited about is the highly anticipated Rosebud restaurant on the east side of town. With us today, Alex Dana. Alex, please stand up. Stand up. Alex is joined by our very own Pete Chiavarelli. Pete, stand up as well. These guys are too modest. One's literally a rock star, or manages one, and Alex, he's well known throughout the nation. So again, gentlemen, thanks for coming out. Alex is the founder of all the Rosebud and Carmine brand restaurants. His Chicagoland locations are known and sought out by celebrities from around the world. Alex's first-class approach, passion, and attention to detail has made his restaurants world-renowned. Alex, we welcome you to town, and we wish you nothing but the best. On the far south side of town, we have partnered with the town of Homer Glen in order to develop the isolated triangle bordered by 355, Archer, and 135th Street. We again appreciate working with Homer Glen and annexing this land into Lemont, and also coming to an agreement to make this a win-win for both towns. Coming soon is a gas fueling station, which obviously if you live on the south or west side of town is much needed. So again, we're looking forward to that. We've made significant progress throughout the town. However, we have plenty of work and opportunity in the coming year. These are just a couple of the pictures. Trust me, we are working on each of these sites. There's not a day that goes by where one of these sites is not being either called upon or a meeting. Jason Berry, Jason does a great job. He's recently hired, I say recently, it's probably been 18 months now, but he has made a great contribution along with George Schaefer under his leadership. And again, we continue to make progress, but obviously we still have a lot more to go, and we realize that as a board. One of the biggest opportunities that we continue to pursue is the 16-acre village-owned property located on the northeast side of town by 83 in Main. This will most likely be a mixed-use site with some commercial and a potentially a quick service diner, a possible fuel center, a convenience store with outlots, and potentially some light industrial to the far west. Today, we have singled out some of the new establishments that our town has brought in, but by no means do we take for granted all of the other new businesses that have come into town. We appreciate the investment you have made in Lemont, and we wish you nothing but the best. Again, we want to thank our chamber, the newly named Heritage Corridor Business Alliance, and our Lemont Township Merchant Alliance Group, and their networking and assistance into bringing new business into Lemont. In order to support our businesses, we will continue to emphasize and promote quality residential growth. Our building, planning, and permitting department is an integral piece in the development of our town. We want to thank all of our staff that has served in these areas. Over the past year, we have made great strides in 3 areas in order to maintain controlled and sustainable growth. We have worked with both builder and realtor focus groups to better understand the current and future market of home buyers. We have used this feedback to update and modernize our building code in order to keep pace with the ever-changing needs of home buyers. We continue to build in the neighborhood of approximately 100 new homes per year. In addition, our home permits continue to be strong, and home resales have steadily increased to just over 300 just last year. In the pipeline, we have 4 new subdivisions that will be picking up speed this year, including a revised and reduced plan to the far right for the build-out west of Timberline Drive. Another point of emphasis we have worked on over the past year is increasing our overall awareness in our town, from promoting businesses to street signage to online communication with our residents. We introduced sneak peek videos last year of new businesses, and we received an overwhelming response of over 40,000 views. Jason Berry, he was the one who did the interviewing for all this. He was the moderator, so we're just hoping, you know, one of the TV networks doesn't spot him and steal him away from us. So. But also to increase awareness, we've put up new parking signage in the downtown area, and we are planning for new gateway signage as you enter into town. In addition, we are working on advertising signage on I-55 to better promote our entire town and our location. Last July, we launched a community engagement questionnaire platform called POCO. If you haven't already signed up, please do. We encourage you to do so. You can check it out on our website. The village has 8 volunteer commissions consisting of typically at least 6 to 8 volunteers in each one of these. We thank all of you for serving on these committees. Some of you serve on multiple ones, but your time and input is invaluable to the town. So again, we thank all of you. We appreciate it. The board appreciates it. We use your input, trust me. And again, thanks for doing what you do. Over the past 18 months, as a board, we have managed our costs as best as we can. We have decreased our headcount. And most importantly, we have done it at a time when we are also decreasing our outstanding debt liabilities. Our finance department personnel is led by Chris Smith. We would like to recognize Chris and her team for achieving 2 awards again this year. The first one, the Certificate Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, and the Distinguished Budget Award. Again, great job, Chris and team. The good news is we currently have a solid cash position. Our policy is to maintain a cash position equal to 30% of our annual general fund expenditures, which currently equates to approximately $3 million of cash on hand. As a board, we are committed to paying down our total debt, which includes both bond debt as well as unfunded pension debt. The bad news is by doing so, we are incurring an annual $1 million shortfall in our budget that we have been balancing over the past several years by foregoing necessary infrastructure upgrades, primarily to our water, sewer, and our roadways. Again, at our level, we have to have a balanced budget. We balance it, and if we're not balanced it, we got to cut. And unfortunately, what we've been cutting each year over the past several years has been the infrastructure. So therefore, as a board, we're putting on the April 2nd ballot a non-home rule sales tax 1% referendum. As a board, we feel this referendum is the best option considering half of the annual $1 million shortfall will be funded by purchases made by non-residents, non-tax-paying residents. If the referendum fails, we will significantly have to raise our water bills and vehicle sticker rates, considering we do not wish to raise any debt or property tax. So again, we're avoiding any more debt or property tax. We're going to live by our means on a yearly basis. We're not going to kick the can down the road. So please check out the video on our village website to obtain a better understanding of this referendum. But more importantly, please vote. Get out there. Early voting starts this Monday at the township, and Election Day is on April 2nd. We are happy to report last year we settled all 4 major lawsuits. Yes, I would clap too. All 4 of these lawsuits were in litigation for over the past several years. In doing so, and this is the most important part, we've stopped the expensive spend of taxpayer dollars on this litigation. The last outstanding lawsuit is the Palos Park Cook County State's Attorney litigation case that was filed in 2016 against Lemont, where they are trying to overturn and oust 17 Lemont properties out of our village. As everyone well knows, but we got to say it, the village has settled the case with the Cook County State's Attorney, and we would like to thank State's Attorney Fox and her team. All 17 properties are to remain in the village of Lemont. However, Palos Park has filed an emergency motion to intervene in this settlement. Again, they have already been denied once before, therefore the litigation and the costs will continue. Lemont and Palos have spent over $1 million on this litigation case, of which 1/3 came from Lemont taxpayers. We all feel it's time to move on and end this wasteful spend of taxpayer monies. We want to recognize the Lemont Historical Society for everything they did during the year, especially for the recognition of our state's 200th birthday last year. In addition, we also want to thank them for their spirit in keeping Lemont's history alive and well. As I mentioned earlier, before we can plan for our future, we need to first better understand our past. So to wrap things up, we want to quickly share some highlights over the past year from our other taxing body partners. We're very fortunate to have a great working relationship with all of our taxing bodies. They all had multiple great achievements this past year, and we cannot possibly mention them all here, so we are highlighting just one of the many. The Fire District achieved accreditation with the Center for Public Service Excellence, and they set a goal of reaching accreditation for the district in the year 2021. The library launched a very successful community partnership group of volunteers that assisted with several multiple projects within the library. We thank these dedicated volunteers for making a difference in Lemont. The Lemont Township nominated trustee Frank Wozniak. Frank, are you with us today? Frank, stand up. They nominated him for the Illinois Bicentennial 200 Honorary Award. They chose 200 veterans, including Frank. Based on their achievements and contributions, that aided, benefited, and provided inspiration to their local communities and fellow veterans. Congratulations again. The Park District developed Mayfair Park in 2018. This 2.5-acre parcel is now a fully accessible playground with a half-court basketball court, volleyball court, parking lot, along with trail and landscaping enhancements. The Lemont High School earned a summative designation of exemplary on the 2018 Illinois School Report Card. This ranks Lemont High School, which we already knew, but it ranks them now among the top 10%, but we already knew they're in the top 2. And when we say 2, we don't mean 2%, the top 2 schools. They're the 1 or 2 of the last public schools to win the Blue Ribbon Award in Illinois. School District 113A. In order to go to high school, you got to go to School District 113A. So this is where these kids come from. But they're the proud recipient of the Governor's Hometown Award for Haunted Central, which was named a state project winner and a top finalist for its volunteer efforts and strong connection and commitment to the Lemont community. Again, I just want to give one more shout out to our schools, and I mean this at every level. We continue to achieve local, state, and national recognition awards. What they've done at the schools has been phenomenal. The leadership is awesome. And as we know, when people are considering moving into a community, a deciding factor is how good the schools are, and without a doubt, we have excellent schools. Last but not least, as the weather warms up, we have a lot of stuff going on. So please check out the community calendar and be sure to get out and enjoy our scene in Lemont. Again, thank you all for attending today. We had a great and very productive 2018, but you know what? We're going to make 2019 even better. So again, thanks again to the Heritage Corridor Business Alliance for hosting today's event.